The train at platform 1 is the 1322 to London Waterloo, stopping at West Byfleet, Surbiton, Clapham Junction.
I've had a few questions in the comments regarding the station sounds and announcements I've used in some videos that weren't part of any locomotive sound options. I use a combination of royalty-free sound effects and announcements I've created myself. And in this video, I'm going to bring you through some of the websites I use for generic station and sound effects and other sounds that you might want to use on your layout. We'll then take a look at creating a realistic station announcement sound and the tools you'll need to put that together. And finally, we'll take a quick look at the playback of those sounds on your layout. So let's get into it. Okay, let's get into some of the websites that have various sound effects that are available for free. And these are royalty free, so you can include them in videos. This is Pixabay, which is the one I use the most. And I use it for other things, not just sound effects. So this is just a general ambient sound in the background at a kind of a reasonably low level. So I can talk over it. And that can be very useful, very nice just to create that, have that sort of sound on your layout. I'll get another one here, it's a bit louder. And this is a train station sound, and so we'll get another one here, just another example.
Then all stations to Springwood, then all stations to...
And you can see it playing on the screen there. Okay, so let's move on. We'll pick maybe one or two more here. So this is a Southwest Trains announcement. This is actually an on-train announcement.
Come aboard the South Western Railway service to Southampton Central, calling at Fratton, Hilsea, Cosham, Porchester, Fareham, Swanwick, Bursledon, Campbell, Netley, Sholing, Woolston, Bitton, St.
Hey, that might be of interest if you are modelling Southwest region. So let's move on. We'll take a look at the next one, Freesound, freesound.org. And all of these links will be in the description, by the way. So we've got a couple of interesting ones here. We'll kind of get a general background sound again of, passenger noises and various station noises. Now, some of these are in different languages, so you will want to watch out for that. But you may want that as well, depending on what you're modelling. The next announcement is actually an Irish announcement. So that's quite a familiar voice to anybody who's gone on the Irish Railways. So, and there's a number of those announcements actually on this particular channel or website. So we'll move on. Zapsplat is another one, again delivering lots of different sound effects here. They cover a whole range, and so you may want to have other things on your layout, like background sound of cars or other sounds. And you can see the sort of range that we've got here. It's quite extensive. An awful lot of sound effects on this particular one. There'd be pretty more than Pixabay, for example. There would be more broader range. We're going to look at the trains one here. Just pick that one. Okay, and we'll take a quick look at or listen to one or two. This is kind of the ambience of an onboard of an electric train, so you're not going to get very much out of that. Just a steam train sound. There we go. And so we're going to put in station announcement and do a search on that, and that'll give us something closer to what we're looking for. Okay, very generic type announcement that you'll be able to use. Mixkit is a commercial site, but they do offer a range of free sounds on their site. You can see a number of them here on the front, and again, they're quite a mix of sounds, and there's a dog barking here. Again, you might want that on your layout, for example. Not as good as the other sites, perhaps, but you might find something unique that you're particularly looking for on that site. So sound editing, I use Audacity, and that's what I'm going to use to create the announcement. So you're going to need that to download that. It's free. I have a very old version of it, 2.3.2, which works absolutely fine. So if you do have it already and you have an old version, you can just use that. You don't need to download it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to load up sound. I had downloaded a chime actually from Pixabay a while back, so we'll just load that up here. You can see it there, and we'll play it. Okay, so that's the chime we're going to use as part of our announcement. So the next thing we want to do is actually create an announcement. And you can create this with your own voice, but I'm going to use text-to-speech here. and there's a link here to the Google Cloud text-to-speech. So we've got the UK, Great Britain option. It got other countries. You can get US, English, etc. We're going to paste in the text for our announcement, and we're going to pick to speak it now. And so we'll hear that it's creating it now, and we'll hear it in a minute.
The train at platform 1 is the 1322 to London Waterloo, stopping at West Byfleet, Surbiton, Clapham Junction and London Waterloo. Remaining passengers are advised to board at this time as the train will be departing shortly.
Okay, that's not too bad, okay? It's not reverbed or anything like that. We'll be doing that afterwards. We're going to change it now, and we'll get a male voice. So listen to that.
The train at platform 1 is the 1322 to London Waterloo, stopping at West Byfleet, Surbiton, Clapham Junction and London Waterloo. Remaining passengers are advised to board at this time as the train will be departing shortly.
Okay, I actually think that sounds pretty good. Now, one of the things you can do is you can change the speed here. And he was talking quite quickly, so we're going to drop the speed a little bit.
The train at platform 1 is the 1322 to London Waterloo, stopping at West Byfleet, Surbiton, Clapham Junction and London Waterloo. Remaining passengers are advised to board at this time as the train will be departing shortly.
Okay, so how are we going to record this? This is just a kind of a sampler or demo version. What we're going to do is actually record this into our Audacity software. So Audacity is set up at the moment to record from the internal sound system. So it's going to record any sounds that the PC is creating. So next time we actually play the sound, we're going to press record here and we're going to be recording it.
The train at platform 1 is the 1322 to London Waterloo, stopping at West Byfleet, Surbiton, Clapham Junction and London Waterloo. Remaining passengers are advised to board at this time as the train will be departing shortly.
Okay, so we've captured it in Audacity. We'll stop the recording now and we'll just save this version of the announcement so we have a copy of it on our hard disk. And we're going to save it as a WAV file. If you've got MP3 configured, you can save it as an MP3 file as well. So we'll just put that on there. And so this is really flexible. So, I mean, this is this feature that the Google Cloud give you. They're good quality voices, and there's a good selection on there, so you can check out some others. Now we're going to want to add the reverb, and we're going to use Audacity, the Audacity software, to add the reverb. So first thing we'll do is got to collect or select the entire sound, and then we're going to pick the reverb option, and it's in the middle there. And we're going to use the default, and the default is pretty good. So let's just try out the default. You can see it's converted the sound, and let's just play it now.
The train at platform 1 is the 1322 to London Waterloo, stopping at West Byfleet, Surbiton, Clapham Junction and London Waterloo. Remaining passengers are advised to board at this time as the train will be departing shortly.
Okay, that sounded pretty good, I think. Now you can tweak the settings, as I mentioned, and we can just do an undo here to get back to what we originally had.
The train at platform 1
okay,
is
we're back to where we were, so that's taking the reverb off again. We've just done an undo. So we're going to do reverb again, and we're going to adjust one of the settings here, the top setting. It does sound a little bit different, and I guess it'll come down to your own preferences.
The train at platform 1 is the 1322 to London Waterloo.
Okay, so you can play with those settings. I think the defaults are actually pretty good, to be honest, and I tend to use them most of the time, but there are options there if you want to tweak it. So next thing we want to do is we've got our chime. And that's already got a reverb kind of built into it, so we don't need to do an additional reverb there. So we're just going to copy this and we're going to insert this into the original recording that we had. So you can see that's the original recording in there now. And we're going to just paste in the chime at the start, and we'll just delete some of the dead space that's in there. There's a bit too much of a gap in there. So just cut that back a little bit and take another bit out. Okay, so let's play it.
The train at platform 1 is the 1322 to London Waterloo, stopping at West Byfleet, Surbiton, Clapham Junction and London Waterloo. Remaining passengers are advised to board at this time as the train will be departing shortly.
Okay, so there we have it. Lots of options. You'll get different versions of that chime off those different websites we've just gone through. You can get different voices from the Google Cloud. You can add different levels of reverb, whatever you want to do, and you can obviously customize the announcements for your own usage. So we're just going to save it here, and then we'll be able to use this in whichever way we want to use it. And I would be using it in a video. But you can play it back, and I'm going to show you some of the off-the-shelf type options that you might want to use. The first of them is just using your PC main speakers, or you might be playing through the TV, for example, or your monitor. You might have an output there. Now that's not probably the best. That's what you're going to just hear in the room, and if that's what you want, then that's fine. But I think I'm going to look at two options now. If you want to actually position the sound on your layout, have it inside a building, for example, on the layout. So one of the things you can use is a mini wireless speaker. These got a little battery in them, and they're very powerful. So, they're pretty small. You'll fit them in a reasonably sized small building, and you can pair them with your PC or phone and play from there. So really handy option to put around your layout. You don't have to put any wires down or anything like that. The next one is a mini MP3 player that has a speaker built in. And again, you're going to have a battery in there. Your sounds will actually be on the player itself. And again, you may have different levels of control remotely for that. And again, something you can locate somewhere on your layout, physically in the layout itself, emanating the sound from the layout. So these are just some of the options. Obviously, you can create your own customized configuration, take the sound output from your PC, for example, put it through some amps and actually have multiple speakers across the layout, whatever you want to do. And people may have already got some setups like that. That's absolutely fine. I think these ones are pretty handy if you haven't got something wired in on your layout already and you just want to get something wireless, for example. I think that's really handy, and they're not expensive. And I've got a couple of links in the description. You could take a look at what's there. I haven't reviewed any of these previously or anything like that. If people are interested in maybe reviewing some of these, I can do that. But right now I'm just putting there some recommendations. So there you go. There's lots of sounds out there that you can use on your layout. It's a good way of creating your own announcements. Doesn't cost any money, as I said. This is like all the software, all the links are free. They're all royalty free as well, so you can use them in videos if you did want to do that. So there's an awful lot to tap into. And it's been quite a different video from my normal videos because it's just really focusing on kind of websites and creation of the sounds. But I think these do add something to both videos, and I think they can add to your layout as well. So worth taking a look into if you want to add that extra dimension of sound onto your layout. I think this hopefully will give you some food for thought. And if you've been adding sounds, etc., onto your layout and you've been doing it in different ways, then please share that in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're doing that. Or if you've maybe tried out some of these methods, maybe use some of those speakers, please share your experience in the comments. I think I'd certainly love to see it, and I'm sure any other viewers to the channel would love to see it as well. So we'll be back to a normal review for the next video, where I hope to go through the Hornby Class 91 at long last. I've had it for a while and now I'm going to review it. So that'll be my next video. So hopefully join me for that. And in the meantime, take care and happy modeling.